And you have something on your mind. I know it. I just know it. So get it off of your chest, onto your keyboard. Send an email to idea@wretched.org. Here we go to the mailbag from Anani Moo. What's the Christian position on surrogacy? Permit me to ask a slightly different question first. What's the Christian position on medicine? It is overall a blessing. God is a healing God. He does it either supernaturally as he sees fit, or he uses medicine as a means to heal his creation. Either way, we praise God for medicine and healing. But that doesn't mean every single advancement in the medicinal field is one that a Christian can or should embrace. We are sometimes called upon to use our Bibles to inform our ethics, to apply it to a particular situation. And this is one the Bible doesn't speak directly about. Hey, wait a second, the Bible has an answer for everything. It does indeed have an answer for all of our moral conundrums, but how we arrive at that conclusion is a little bit more challenging when the Bible doesn't just go, boop, put a finger right on there. Here's the issue right there. Oh, you're talking about adultery. Well, there's a bunch of verses on adultery. Well, there are no verses on surrogacy, meaning a man and a woman who can't have a child for whatever reason. We're going to define it somewhat narrowly. The man's sperm meets with the woman's egg in a petri dish, and then what happens to it? It gets implanted into a third party's womb. That's surrogacy, and the Bible doesn't speak about that because, well, that option didn't exist back then. But I do believe that we can use our Bibles to come up with, I think, a sound conclusion without making a law. Remember, we can't make a law where there is no law. We can come down pretty confidently on an issue like this, I think, but I wouldn't want to scold somebody or put somebody on church discipline if they disagree. Why? Because the Bible doesn't speak in a pinpointed fashion. Therefore, I come to a conclusion by looking at some of the implicit verses on the subject, and I hold it somewhat firmly, but I don't use it as a club. Having said that, what does the Bible say about surrogacy? Well, we need to start back at creation, that we are to be fruitful and multiply. Who? A husband and a wife. Two people in a covenant union. So now I consider marriage. What is it? It's a picture of Jesus and the church. Who plays those roles? One man and one woman. When I take a look at things like genealogies, what do I see? That so-and-so begat so-and-so, that begat so-and-so, that begat so-and-so. In other words, I see something that is normative. A man and a woman in a covenant relationship come together through natural law, which I take from Romans chapter 1. We're built for that. To do what? To make babies. Therefore, with those implicit Bible verses, I take a look at introducing a third party into procreation. And I should start to go, that's not feeling exactly right. That doesn't seem to be the pattern that we see in the garden, the picture of marriage, and through natural law. And so I'm starting to go, it's certainly a blessing, and it certainly could be something that could cause somebody to have a lot of joy from a lot of sorrow. But is that the direction that the Bible aims us at? I do believe the answer needs to be a sensitive, no, I don't think it does. I don't think that the blessing of medicine in this instance should be taken advantage of by a couple that cannot have a child. I'm not talking about any other issues. I'm not suggesting now, therefore, what God is telling you is you need to just be happy without having kids or just go ahead and adopt. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that implicitly the Bible points toward we should not be taking advantage of this particular medicinal practice. Am I saying that anybody who has done this is a terrible sinner who needs church discipline? Absolutely not. First of all, I would be a flat-out jerk to do so. Second of all, I wouldn't be biblical. We don't make laws where there are no laws. We can take a look at a subject like this. This is Christian ethics. This is a profound, challenging subject. And I can use my Bible to come up with a bottom line, but I don't want to use it to browbeat somebody or make somebody feel terrible if they didn't come to the same conclusion. Therefore, I would, if I were counseling a couple who came in, I would use those implicit Bible verses to say, I would encourage you to consider whether or not that perhaps adoption is an issue for you, or if you can somehow use the time that would be spent on raising up that child to invest that in the local church or into the lives of other couples, that might be what God's plan is for your life. But should you decide to take advantage of that, I wouldn't put them on church discipline. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is